Okay, good afternoon, and I'm very excited to be here. I want to thank Pastor Akishola for putting this together, and the little short time I've been here, honestly speaking, I've been blessed. Please, can you put your hands together for Pastor Akishola and Carrie's Family International Church? I'm sure you can do better than that. All right. I also want to thank the co-speakers. I want to thank Mrs. Jimo. I think this is the second time in about 2 months that we're sharing the same platform. Can you put your hands together for her? And I can say without missing words that I've been so much blessed by the presentation from my friend and brother Tokwe Samson today. It's awesome. It's awesome. Thank you. I want to charge all of us that whatever we have learned today should not end here. I want to encourage people, please get the CD, get the video, and let's keep this running. I want to also congratulate all of you for making it today. Please clap for yourselves. I'm happy to see Mrs. Apapa in the audience. So good to see you, man. And anytime I see her and I'm holding the mic, I correct myself a lot. I shake. You know, she's got an award-winning book out. And I don't know, if you don't have that book, you need to get that book. She is an excellent author. And she had to stand on a platform at Hollywood a few months ago, where she was given an award for one of the best-selling books that she wrote. So I'm glad we have her in the audience this morning. Thank you so much. I have my very good friend seated right beside Mrs. Apapa, and my heart is shaking. My very good friend, we've come a long way. Please celebrate me, Dari Adekombi, today. So many people I can't mention, but it's so good to have you here. I would like to speak on what I've called the 30 common business mistakes we make in Nigeria. Now, this morning when I woke up and started dressing to come here, and I decided I was going to dress traditionally, so I brought out my clothes. I actually wore the clothes and I started looking for my shoes. And I discovered that all the shoes that I had were the shoes I actually wear to office with my suit. They were laced shoes. And I started thinking, if I wear laced shoes with this, everyone in the audience will keep looking at my shoes and they will not concentrate on the message. So I decided, okay, this was a mistake that I have made. And I had to rush out this morning to go and buy this shoe that I'm wearing so that you can concentrate on the message and not focus on my shoes. Now, it's a mistake I made, and I'm telling you so that you don't make those kind of mistakes. So that especially when you're keeping about 2 homes or so, you need to have one shoe in one place and one shoe in the other place. In other words, I think it is more beneficial for us to learn from teachers, and it is more painful for us to learn from experience. It's more beneficial for us to learn from teachers, just like I'm telling you, and I can see somebody looking at my shoes. And it is more painful for you to learn from experience. And that's one of the reasons why it is good we have, programs like this, seminars like this, so that we can learn from people who have passed through those phases, and you don't have to learn from a very bitter experience. Can I go ahead this morning? Okay, now you need to understand that 85% of businesses in Nigeria fail within the first 18 months of business setup. 85% of businesses in Nigeria, within the first 12 months, within the first 18 months, they fail. There are so many things that even militate against Nigerian businesses. Now, we're talking about setup, and it is after setup you can even begin to talk about being a business of influence and affluence, But there are certain things that militate against businesses in Nigeria. Poor power supply. My wife runs a school in Magodo in Lagos. And every single day for the past few months, we've had to contend against poor power supply. Now, that environment is such in which that when they bring children, they expect that everything is in order. Or else they'll come and complain, my child has heat rash. And that alone can start a run on your school. So poor power supply. Imagine someone who is a barber. You run a barbing salon, you run a beauty salon, and you have to contend with poor power supply. You have to contend with inadequate security. I am a banker, I work for a bank, and there are several layers of security that we have to put in place. All of us need to have the regular policemen. They are always on duty. Then we also have the mobile policemen. We hire at least 2 per branch. We pay them. Then you have your normal uniformed guard who stay at the door. You pay them also because of the security situation of the country. Huge taxation that the businesses have to face. So many kind of taxes that you have to pay. And I have bad news for you. It's going to get worse because you are going to pay more in taxes. In December, one of the local governments brought a bill for my wife and they called it merriment tax. Now, when she asked, what is merriment tax? They said, but in December you held a party within your premises, a Christmas party. So if you hold a Christmas party for your parents and your children, you need to pay merriment tax. And they gave us 7 days to pay because we were going to shut down the school. And that is how they've been collecting merriment tax. I have never heard of merriment tax in my life. Now, recently, they brought out one other bill, and they brought it out and they said it was gaseous emission tax. That's one of the new things in Oyo State here. In Oyo State. And when I asked, they said, your generator. And I said, oh, fantastic. So as a bank, we had to cough out money and pay. Now, I understand that in a certain state in Nigeria, in Benue State particularly, everybody is being made to pay generator tax. And when they asked, what are you going to use the generator tax to do? They said, we are going to use it to work against depletion of ozone layer. And I'm wondering, for heaven's sake, how do you... So, huge taxation costs are coming. Those are some of the things that are working against Nigerian businesses, and you need to get ready. My wife pays TV and radio license. TV and radio license. Why? Because there are television in the school, television sets in the classrooms. So TV and radio license. And it's going to get worse because everybody is looking for ways to generate revenue, especially because our oil is no longer working. My sincere prayer is that oil will dry so that all of us can begin to use our common sense. Can I have an amen? Yeah. Okay. All right. For businesses, also, there are very huge setup costs. In Nigeria, when you want to set up a business, huge setup costs. When you want to register a business at the Corporate Affairs Commission, I went to Ghana some time ago to register a business, and within 48 hours, the business was registered. From the initial name search and so many other things, within 48 hours, that business was registered. But you can't do that in Nigeria because for you to do a name search, maybe it takes 7 days. And after you get the name, then you will have to do something and it has to be sent to Abuja and it has to come back, and then so many other layers that you have to go through before you can get a limited liability company incorporated. I am not so sure that you can actually do it in 30 days. So there are huge setup costs when you want to set up a business. When you want to rent a premises, an environment, a building, for you to be able to set up your business, there are huge costs that are associated with renting of building premises. I was so excited to know that in Ibadan here, you can still get a normal 2-3 bedroom bungalow for about 250,000, 300,000 naira. But if you were to replicate that same kind of building in Lagos, you can know the amount of money you're going to cough out. So huge setup costs. So all the above and several other things contend against each Nigerian business. But then there are 30 mistakes that you must avoid if you want to do business well in Nigeria. Now we need to run fast. Number 1, everybody say poor strategy. Come on, say it like you're in class. Poor strategy. Now, a business strategy is a summary of how your business plans, of how you intend to achieve your goals, you intend to improve your business, and how you intend to sustain your position in the industry. One of the things you need to understand is that companies don't succeed by accident. They succeed by design. Companies succeed by design and not by accident. Whatever business that you're running, you must have a strategy in place. There must be a strategy that you have. You must have a strategy document. It must be a written document. It is different from your business plan. It can be part of your business plan, but there must be a strategy that is in place for the business that you want to start or that you want to run, for your business to be a business of influence and affluence. And you can employ what I have called the SWOT and the pestle analysis to help you create a winning strategy. Now, when you're talking about SWOT, you're talking about the strengths, the weakness, the opportunities, and the threats of a certain business. If you have not done it before, I need you to go home and do it today. Bring out a notebook and dimension the business that you are doing. What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities in that environment, in that sector, in that business area, in that industry? And what are the threats that that sector will face? You can go a step further to do what we call the pestle analysis. The pestle analysis will consider the political factors. Are there political factors that can affect your business? If a change in government come, if a change in the local government chairman or state come, will it affect your business today? If there is something that happens in the law of the land, will it affect your business today? What are the environmental factors? What are the social factors? Are you going to look at the demographics? If people get younger, does it affect your business? If the people in an environment are old people, does it affect your business? What are the social factors? What are the technological factors? I was very excited when Mr. Tokwe Samson spoke about technology, about IT, how it can impact on your business. What are the technological factors? Are you still running your businesses manually? Can you get more mileage if you include some form of level of IT in your business? What are the economic factors? What are the legal factors? Are there legal factors that you need to sort out for your business to be on the ascendancy? All these things have to be in place in your strategy. Number 2, lack of financial knowledge. Many business owners lack financial literacy. A lot of business owners lack financial literacy. A lot of people don't know the difference between assets and liabilities. It will interest you to know that even there are some business owners that don't even have current accounts open for their businesses. I've had quite a few people. I met somebody a short while ago, in fact last week, who runs a medical practice, a very successful one in this city of Ibadan, and he was actually looking to be able to take a loan of sorts. And I asked him, after I have told him the requirements, I told him I would need your statement of account for your medical practice over the past 12 months. And he looked me in the face and he said, well, I may not be able to give you that. I said, why? He said, because everything I run in my personal name. And I was shocked. A medical practice, a very successful one that has been on ground for some time. Okay? There are some business people that don't even understand the difference between a loan and overdraft. And every businessman, that almost everyone that I've encountered, whatever they want, they will tell you, I want overdraft. So I need to sit down with them and tell them, what exactly do you want? Some of them are leases, some of them are term loans, but all they know in Nigeria is Mofe overdraft. I want overdraft. Okay? And can I ask a question here from the audience? At the end of the month, how many people go through their bank statements? You are in church, so I know I can count on you to be truthful. How many people go through their bank statements? Raise up your hand. Faithfully, regularly. Very few people. Very few people. So even if there are errors, and there are bound to be errors, if there are omissions, you don't know. You don't know whether you are being shortchanged. You don't know anything that is amiss. And then you just collect your bank statement. A lot of them are sent to us electronically now. We don't even look at them. In the days of paper statements, maybe you are forced to look at them because they are posted to you. But now they are sent electronically, and there is the option of you to just do delete. Bam. And a lot of people never read it, and then it's gone. Okay? So lack of financial knowledge. Go for financial seminars. Go for short trainings. I encourage business owners, go for financial seminars. Go for short trainings. Update your knowledge. Like he said, what you know yesterday is obsolete. It does not count again today. So go for financial seminars, go for short trainings so that you can update yourself on financial literacy. Number 3, poor quality of staff. The third common business mistake that people make in Nigeria. Poor quality of staff. If there's a problem that is quite endemic in business in Nigeria, it is the poor quality of staff. It's very difficult to hire good hands in Nigeria. How many people will agree with me? Oh, very difficult. There are times when I've interviewed in a day 50 people and I'm not able to take just one person. And I'm not able to take just one person. And it begins from when you begin to screen their CV. Some can't even put together a good CV. An average Nigerian graduate is unemployable. Some of them can't even compose a text properly. Now, my wife runs a school and she hired the teacher a short time ago. And the teacher wanted to ask for something from my wife and she, was sending text to my wife. And in one of the texts, my wife had to rush to come and show me. The woman wrote, "Please, I promise you, if you give me this, I will not fuck up." And my wife ran to come and show me what somebody who is teaching children, the kind of language she is using in an SMS message. And I screamed, "I promise you, if you give it to me, ma, I will not fuck up." And I'm wondering, is that how you even chat or how you correspond with your employer? And I'm wondering if I send that kind of text to my managing director. And I'm shocked. But it shows you the quality of staff that we have. The quality of staff that we have. Poor quality of staff. And let me tell you, it cuts across. And I am not ashamed to tell you this, but it is even worse among Christians. Worse among Christians. Worse among Christians. What nowadays, when maybe a lot of people, I'm a pastor, and then you come to me because you need a job. If you come to me through the Christian angle, my antenna is high up because I'm thinking, today, this one wants to, because look, a lot of Christians are lazy. Once we've had a lady, my wife has CCTV cameras in all the classes. And one day she just saw, those teachers are now so smart because they know the camera angle. So they now know where to hide so that the camera will not grab them. But there's a proverb that if a bird has learned how to fly without perching, then the hunter must also learn how to shoot without missing. So once she doesn't see the teacher in the camera, my wife will also sneak to the class because she knows something must be happening. So that particular day, the teacher could not be seen in the camera. And then she went into the class. And what did she see? The teacher was sprawled on one rug by the side, away from the camera, sleeping on the floor. And then my wife said, "Why are you sleeping? Why are you sleeping so early?" "Madam, I'm so sorry. Actually, I went for night vigil. I just came back from night vigil." And then my wife called me and I told her, "Fire her immediately. Let her go back for her vigil. Fire her immediately." Because you cannot take your employer's time and then be doing what you want. Poor quality of staff. Poor quality of staff. There was another instance where she saw something from the camera and she screamed because a lady was feeding a baby in crèche. The head of the baby was upside down, and then she had another baby in her hands that she was feeding at the same time. Criminal. That's really criminal. That's really criminal. Okay, so some of them can't even, like I said, compose a text properly. They can't compose a CV properly. Poor quality of staff. So what's the solution? Because for me, it's not just about identifying the mistakes, but what can we do to correct those problems? What can we do to rectify the situation? You must always have a training program for your staff. I was so excited when I saw in Mr. Sampson's own teaching where he said you hire for character, but you train your staff, you train for skills. Okay, so you always have a training program for your staff. Always. If you have one or two people working with you, ensure that 3 months, 4 months does not go by, half a year does not go by without you sending them for one training or the other. You cannot sending them for one training or the other. You can organize in-house training sessions. Let somebody who knows a little better than you come in to train them, to teach them. Put in place a manual for your operations. Put in place a manual for your operations. There is a certain film outfit in this country that I had the opportunity of working together with them, on setting out some of the their facilities. One of them is in Ibadan here. And while I was talking with the MD, he said, I have a manual for my operations. In fact, because anytime you come to actually watch film at their outlets, one of the things you have to do is to buy popcorn, buy shawarma, they run the same thing. And he said, our manual is that from the time when you come to order anything at the desk, they should be able to take just 3 steps backwards to the fridge, open, take out the Coke, 3 steps forward to be able to give you the Coke, 3 steps sideways to be able to take shawarma, 3 steps back to give it to you, 3 steps left to be able to take another thing. They should not take more than 3 steps. So that's our manual. And I actually came to Dubai Ibadan here. I sat down at a corner and I was watching how they were attending to customers. Exactly. 3 steps backwards to take something, 3 steps forward to drop it on the table, 3 steps sideways to the right, 3 steps sideways to the left. Not more than 3 steps. And it was working. A manual was in place and it was working. Okay? Be ready to fire where necessary. Be ready to fire where necessary. Look, your business is not a charity. It's not a charity organization. It's not a charity organization. I always tell people that a lot of Nigerian staff run businesses like Ena Mori Obaku. And they run it like Ogata Ogata, Uwalaru Makbe. That means whether you make money, whether you sell, whether you make profit, at the end of the month, they are going to get their salary. They're going to get paid. So be ready to fire when necessary. Be ready to fire where necessary. Be ready to fire where necessary. And always monitor what they do. Always put in place a process to monitor what they do. Can I go ahead? Number 4, poor structure or lack of structure. Lack of structure. This is one of the bane of Nigerian businesses and why many businesses can never outlive their owners. There is no structure in place, or there is a poor structure, or there is lack of structure. Where you have no system or a structure in place, your business will continue to ride you. You will not be the one running your business. Your business will be the one to run you. And that's why a business owner can hardly take a vacation, but must always be on the job always, because there's no structure. And that's one of the reasons those businesses cannot even expand. If you've been running your business for 5 years and you cannot have a second outlet, then there's a problem. If you always have to be there every time to take a decision, there is a problem. Let me crack this joke. When we started issuing POSs, first of all, and we discovered we had a process for monitoring POSs. And there was one that I discovered in one of my regions that POS will work at a certain time of the day, but it will not work at certain period. So I sent some people to visit the supermarket to discover why the POS, if there were issues, so that we could rectify it. But when we got there, we discovered that the business owner will come and bring out the POS anytime she's there. But when she is going out, she will carry the POS and put it in her bag. Because at that time, she didn't understand that there's no way they can steal money from the POS. So anytime she's going out, she will carry the POS and put it in her bag. And go out. But it may sound funny, but that's how a lot of people run their businesses. That's how your business cannot run if you're not there. If you're not there, because there is no structure. So once you set up your business, you must put up a structure. There must be a business manual for all new hires to read. Even if you only have 2 staff, set up a business manual. It might not be more than 3 pages. Do's and don'ts. This is what you need to do when you come in, when you wake up. Put up a business manual that everybody reads when they resume with you in your place of work. There must be quality standards that show how things are meant to be done. And those standards must be entrenched in the system by way of reward and sanctions. Everybody say reward. Oh, say it like you're in class. Everybody say reward. Everybody say sanctions. So there must be reward and sanctions. Reward must follow somebody who consistently does what he or she needs to do. Sanctions must follow somebody who fails on a consistent basis after warning, after corrective measures have been put in place, but still fails to do what needs to be done. Poor structure is the bane of a lot of businesses. At a certain level, you can't do everything by yourself again. You can't do everything by yourself again. There was a customer that I had, and when he was just starting out, he's in the business of building estates. And when he was just starting out, and he didn't even have a name, I had the opportunity of meeting him. And then, by the grace of God, we were able to support him. His first facility in the industry, I was the one that gave it to him. And then he was able to finish that particular structure, fantastic. A lot of people rushed it, and he went on to the next one. And I was always with him. Every single day, I was always seeing him. But one day, I sat in his car and we were driving. He was the one driving. I was seated beside him. And he wanted to take something from the glove compartment. He opened it, and all of a sudden, I saw drafts, about 100, fell down from his glove compartment. Drafts, 1 million, 2 million, people were issuing drafts, And I said, what are all these drafts doing in your glove compartment? He said, I want to take them to the bank, but I don't have. And I said, look, if any of these drafts goes missing, how do you know? I said, evidently, this business has outgrown you. You need to now start to put structures in place. You read economics. You are not a building engineer. So what you can just do is to sit as the owner of the business, but you need to hire a building engineer. You need to hire somebody who will put infrastructure in place. You need to hire an accountant who will help you look at the finances. You cannot do everything at once. We're driving on Lekki Road, and all of a sudden he slammed the brake. And he looked at me and he said, what do you know about running a business? And I smiled. And over time, we had issues with our relationship because he refused to listen to some of the things that I did. I tactically withdrew. And today, the rest is history. The business collapsed. It was a thing of shame, a few weeks ago, that I saw him on TV in handcuffs. Because the same thing I want him to do, I said, put a structure in place, is the same thing that undid him. Because there was no structure in place. One of the structure was building collapsed and killed a lot of people. Okay, so poor structure or lack of structure. Number 5, poor accounting knowledge or lack of accountability. Lack of accountability. People can't separate personal funds from business funds. People can't separate personal funds from business funds. People can't separate the funds for Bayadeinka from the funds for Bayadeinka Nigeria Limited. Okay? So if they need money, they dip their hands into the business force to fund their lifestyles. They will tell you, as long as they are concerned, it is their money. So because of that, they don't even keep proper records and they don't do proper bookkeeping. Now, this same person that I was talking about, there was a particular time when I called him. I wanted to see him and I asked him, where are you? He said, I'm in Oriental Hotel. I said, what are you doing in Oriental Hotel? He said, well, I have a suit there, permanent suit. I said, for what? Because I'm wondering, because he lives just almost opposite in a gated estate, and I'm wondering, why? He said, well, there are times I just want to relax, there are times I just want to think, and I'm thinking, having a permanent suit in Oriental Hotel on other people's money, okay? And I'm beginning to think, who is actually paying for that? Is there a proper record for that? How is the business paying for that? Okay? So people need to understand that you have to keep how you fund your lifestyle away from the business. So what's the solution? Keep separate records. Keep separate accounts. Pay yourself salary so that you don't need to dip your hand into the money of the company. Keep separate records. Set up a personal account different from the business account. Pay yourself a salary. Hire an accountant to help you look at the books. And audit your books regularly because there may be leakages. How many people here have been running their businesses for 5 years? Can I see your hand? 5 years at least. Raise it. No, don't worry. I'm not asking you to give me money. Don't worry. A lot of you are afraid. I'm not raising offering. Raise it very well. 5 years. Okay. Now, out of all of you raising your hands, how many people have actually invited an accountant to audit your business account at least once in those 5 years? Can I see your hand? I can see one hand. Just one hand. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm not looking at mine. So you can imagine, just few people. You need to audit your books regularly. Do you know that some of you don't even know whether you are making money or not? Because the truth of the matter is cash flow will get there, it's not actually profits. You don't even know whether you're making money or not. Because money is coming in does not mean that you are making profits. Audit your books regularly because there may be leakages. Number 6, poor understanding of market needs. Poor understanding of market need. Most business owners don't do proper feasibility studies before they create products and services. They don't understand what their market actually needs. Don't just assume a particular product is what the market needs. Don't assume. Assumption is dangerous. So don't create a product or service the market does not need. So you need to understand your market. You need to know your market. You need to carry out a survey before you invest money in that business. You need to carry out a survey before you invest money in that business. And you need to understand that customers' tastes change with time so that you can be ready to adapt. Their taste always changes with time so that you can be ready to adapt. For example, if you have a business of using a traditional pepper grinder, how many people know that pepper grinder, Ero Lota? And you have it in Lekki, will it sell? Why won't it sell? Because there are alternatives. People use blenders in their homes. So if you want to set up that kind of business, where do you set it up? Agege, or maybe some areas in Ibadan. Okay, because they have blenders in their homes. Those people won't patronize you. You need to understand what the market needs. You need to understand what the market needs. Can I go ahead? Number 7, poor quality of product. Poor quality of product. Poor quality of product. You can only sell a bad product once. Once you are known for selling poor quality products, your business failure is just a matter of time. Your business failure is just a matter of time. Once you are into delivering either poor service or poor products. Poor service or poor products. There are some places here that even if you give me certain things free, because of the poor service, I can never get there. I won't go there again. Poor quality of product or poor quality of service. There's a certain supermarket in Bodija here, you can never catch me there, even if everything is free. Even if everything is free. And you know how it affects you? While others are replicating and growing, you will just stay as one. Because that poor service will continue to follow you. To continue to follow you. I remember Mr. Sampson said something about the tongue. The tongue can travel faster than you can go. Because people will continue to talk about the poor service. They continue to talk about the poor service, and it is enough to kill your business. And the same thing talks about the poor quality of products. I said, how many people still remember Maxam toothpaste? Do you know what killed that toothpaste in Nigeria? Because at the time, it was a very popular product from China. Poor quality. Poor quality. You will press Maxam at a time and water will just come out. Okay? How many people still remember what happened to my Peking? Cough syrup. Because all you need is just bad news. Just one single incident. And then it crashes whatever you have been doing for about 5, 6, 7 or more years. Poor quality of products. A poor or inferior cable can burn a house. Poor quality is bad news that is waiting to happen. So don't compromise quality because of profits. I've seen a lot of people do it, and we are Christians. And they say because you want to make a little 1 naira more, a little extra, we begin to compromise quality because of profits. The quality you compromise today may end up wasting all the profits you have earned tomorrow. In the example I've been sharing, one of the things the Lagos State governor has done is all the people who were actually living in some of the estates built by this person should vacate. They will do integrity tests, and they must go and rent house for all of them, depending when they finish the integrity test. So all the profits that you have earned may be wasted because of quality that has been compromised. If you want to outlast competition, engage in quality products. Somebody say quality. Somebody say quality. Number 8, poor marketing. Poor marketing. The Yorubas will say ipolowo ni agumowo. Marketing is the live wire of business. Now, if people don't know what you're doing, you'll just be lamenting that business is dull. But the truth of the matter is people don't know what you're doing. People don't know you exist. Marketing is the way to get people to know about your business or your service. Marketing. So whatever business you're doing, you need to have a budget for marketing, no matter how little. Flyers. Are you going by way of having banners? The kind of signage you are having? Are you doing below the line advertising? What are you going to do? How do you bring your business out so that people will know you do what you're saying you do? It doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. When my wife was starting out, one of the things we decided to do was, look, how do we now capture this area of Magodo? And then we discovered that there were some vendors. Every Saturday, before you get out of that gate, there are 2 vendors that are stationed strategically. 90% of the cars that pass by there, they buy newspapers from him. So we approach them and we say, we want to put our flyers inside newspapers. And what did I do? So simple. Just give them 1,000 naira. That is the equivalent of about 5 newspapers. All right? And then they said, oh, which newspaper do you want? And I chose the ones that are very popular in Lagos. I chose This Day, I chose Guardian, I chose Punch, and I chose some football papers, Complete Sports, and I put them there. And then we also looked around and said, okay, there is a maternity at the gate where so many people go to give birth. Okay? And because we are starting a preschool, let's go there. So we put our flyers at the maternity. So it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. It doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. Number 9, poor customer service. Poor customer service. An average Nigerian business is not known for excellent customer service. People just treat customers anyhow. And most staff have poor customer service skills. Now you need to understand that it costs you 5 times as much to win a new customer than to keep a current one. It costs you 5 times more to win a new customer than to keep a current one. And don't forget that your business exists because of the customer. I heard Pastor Akishola talk about this when I was coming in. No customer, no business. Can you tell your neighbor, no customer, no business? You know, there's a woman around my house who has like a supermarket around where I stay in Nine Hot. And honestly speaking, it is just because at times I don't have a choice, because she seems to be the one that has the, that's why because anytime she's selling to you, you think she's angry with you. And you'll just be wondering, what did I do to cause this woman such annoyance? It seems your presence brings overwhelming annoyance to her. In fact, it seems as if your presence is a distress to her, because the way she will come and squeeze her face. And she has 2 children in the shop, and she is, I mean, she will just be cursing them as she's attending to you. And you'll be wondering, you know, and I'm just thinking, if I want to set up a supermarket, I'll just come and set it right beside her. Because I know with good quality service, I'm going to take all our customers. Because all of us, I see everybody that park in front of her. We don't want to spend more than 2 minutes. Just give it to me and let me go. Because you will hear more curses from her mouth than you have had in a year in 2 minutes. Okay? No customer, no business. Don't treat customers as if you are doing them a favor. You are not doing them a favor. You are not doing them a favor. Okay, let me give you some tips. Know who is the boss. The customer is the boss. Be a good listener. When your customer is talking, when they are making a complaint, don't talk, just listen. Just listen. Don't assume you even know what the customer needs. Just listen. Identify and anticipate the needs of your customers. Make customers feel important and appreciated. A lot of customers have a goal. They just want to feel important. They want to feel appreciated. So if you have to say sir to people, say sir to them. You need the money in their pocket. So just say sir. It doesn't cost you anything. Don't say, see this small boy talking to me anyhow. Oh boy, you need this money. You need this money. So make customers feel important and appreciated. Know how to apologize. Know how to apologize. And when you apologize, make some restitution. Don't just say, Emma Binu. No. Say, Emma Binu, and please, how can I actually restore what has gone bad? By the grace of God, I also run my small businesses by this. I have a catfish farm, and I smoke my fish, and I sell the fish. And some of my distributors came back to me and said, oh, we had one or two that were not properly smoked that decided to grow mold. And I said, please, for every one of such, just give those people that you sold a free pack. Just give it to them. They didn't pay for it, but give it to them as a free, as a bonus. Because that's the way you can restore confidence. And that's the way you can actually show that your apology is for real. Okay, know how to apologize. Give more than expected. And get regular feedback from your customers. Get regular feedback. Number 10, I need to run now. Poor pricing. Poor pricing. Don't price yourself out of the market. Don't price yourself out of the market. Don't be so much profit sensitive that your markup on your product is the highest in your environment. When my wife was going to set up the school, one of the things we did was to do a price survey. And you know, in Magodo, it is one house, one school. You just see all the schools, there are so many. You know, and we have to do a price survey. And I said, you cannot be the highest and you cannot be the lowest. So let's take an average benchmark. So don't be so much profit sensitive that your markup on your product is the highest in your environment. You know, pricing affects whether a consumer purchases a product or not. And if you want to justify a high price, then there must be product differentiation. That means your product must be the best if you want to justify a high price. Now, this is the benchmark for pricing. Premium products attract premium pricing. Basic products attract basic pricing. Average products attract average pricing. If your product is not premium, why are you charging premium pricing? You know, that is one of the things our Igbo brothers have learned that a lot of others need to learn. Because what they want to do is just to ensure that, look, once that product stays for too long on your shelf, it is bad marketing for you. Because people will continue to look at it and say, oh, how many people want to buy bread and you don't examine the bread you want to? You will say, I'm not taking it. Or you see something that there's a little dust on it and you have the idea that it has been on the shelf for so long. But they want to push everything out. They don't mind just getting 10 naira, but just push it out so that they can go and get other things because they know in the multiple turnovers, their profits will come. But you want to sell just one and you want to really hammer. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Number 11, poor understanding of your business. Poor understanding of your business. The 11th business mistake people make in Nigeria. Many people rush into businesses they don't understand. Last night, in fact, throughout yesterday, there was a certain lady that kept on calling me on my phone. She knows that I do a little bit of charcoal exportation. And she had heard of one of the seminars we do in Lagos, one of the Sunday business seminars, Sunday business school that we do. And she had been engaging me. So she now called me and told me, look, I got some Lebanese people and they told me that the particular charcoal that they want is the one done from Makini wood because they want to use it for shisha. And I told her, I'm sorry, I don't know about Makini wood. I don't know about shisha. They said it's really, I said, look, investigate before you invest. And she kept on prodding me up till this morning that if she can get where, I said, look, if I refer you to anybody, I'm going to give you a caveat. Because if anything happens, you don't come back to meet me. But I don't know anything about Makini wood. I don't know anything about what you are planning to go into. Many people rush, but because some people told that there was a lot of markup in that one, she wanted to rush and put her money there. Many people rush into businesses they don't understand. They hear that money can be made and they rush. Investigate before you invest, because things are not always what they seem. How many people still remember Sokundogoji? How many people remember Word Solution? How many people remember Treasure Line? A lot of us put our money there, and for years we did not recover. True of us. You are in church now, say the truth. True of us. Because as I'm looking at you, most of you did your, including me, understanding of the, and we didn't understand the kind of business they were doing. We didn't understand. We didn't understand, but because we wanted to rush to be rich, we have forgotten that the best way to get rich is to get rich slowly. But we wanted to rush. I was also involved. In fact, they just paid one bonus. I was in a bank at that time, one particular bank, and I carried my money and went to one bank on Bodija there and put it in their account. I was waiting to hammer. By the next week, instead of hammering, they hammered me. So when I discovered that that one has burst, I said, it will not be on top of my head, because I know a lot of people. So I looked for some other money. I went to another one. You know, they say that a dog that will get lost will not listen to the whistle of the hunter. So I put money in another one too. Say, Father, in the name of Jesus. We did not know, we did not understand that God does not answer foolish prayers. You know, one of the reasons why God gave you this brain is so that you can allow him to rest. But we did not use the brain. You know? So, when that one also went bust after a few weeks, and you know the funniest thing is, they will give you a small thing and say, thank God, I got 27,000 naira. And instead of you to say, no, we will now go and add more money to that one and then put it back. And we did not understand what they were doing. Some said oil and gas, some said it, but we did not know that it was just pyramid. And we were just rushing. So when that one went bust again, I said, what do I do? And you know, they will always come up with alternatives. So if those ones don't work, then that was when Forex came up. I said, maybe this is when I can recoup everything that I've lost. So I went to borrow money again from another person, from another bank this time around, and then change it to $10,000, and then gave it to a Forex trader to be trading for me. And I said, look, put the platform on my laptop so that I will be looking at it as you are trading. I remember I was in my office was at Ring Road at that time, and the first day I think he gave me $120 profit. I was so happy that finally I can begin to pay back all my debts. And then the second day there was nothing. Said market was turbulent. They will always find excuses. And then one day I was looking at it, from $10,000 it went to $9,000. $9,000 to $8,000. I called him. I said, excuse me, sir, that thing is going down, sir. He said, don't worry, market is like that, it will appreciate again. From 8,000 it went to 7,000. From 7,000 it went to 6,000. I called him again. I said, excuse me, sir, the money is remaining $6,000. He said, Mr. Bayo, don't worry, I am a professional. The market is turbulent, it will appreciate again. From $6,000 to 5,000, from 5,000 to 4,000, from 4,000 to 3,000, 3,000 to 2,000. I started calling him, he didn't pick again. Until my money became $600. And the next morning, when I rushed to his office to see whether it could be salvaged, I saw so many other people like me who were in front of his office. And the change he could give back to me was $600. And that was when God restored my common sense. And I decided to face life squarely. I decided to go and negotiate with my creditors. You know, the Bible says that you should go and make peace with your creditors so that they don't take you to jail. You know, God will not intervene. You will spend your time in that jail so that common sense can be restored. So I quickly went, obeying the injunctions of the scriptures, to go and negotiate with my creditors. Some of you need to go and negotiate with your creditors before they embarrass you. You know, and I started talking to them. I was able to negotiate those loans. They restructured them for me. And then I started paying them back from my salary. Thankfully, my wife was out of the country then. She was the one who sends £100 to me every month so that I can at least live a good life. You know, well, thank God we can laugh about it. It is history now, but a lot of people never learn from the experience. Poor understanding of your business. Investigate before you invest. Number 12, failure to research. Failure to research. Now, you need to think, why do you think universities conduct research? It's so that they can find new ways of doing things. If universities can conduct research so that they can find new ways of doing things, why will your business not research on finding ways how to do things better? The same way our finding ways how to do things better. The same way our fathers did business is the same way you are doing business. No, it shouldn't be. A business must always continue to research. You need to find out if there are new methods to that business. If there are new methods to that business. How many people remember those days when you buy an automatic car, an automatic gear car, a mechanic will tell you, MR automatic, automatic, it doesn't work. How many people have had it those days? Manual. So for years, a lot of us were stuck on manual cars. A lot of us were stuck on manual cars. They say, in fact, you can't push it. And it is because our auto mechanics, our technicians, they did not research. They did not know that it is even better, it is a notch better, higher than the manual vehicle. So for a long time, I never bought an automatic because my mechanic kept on telling me, Emma try. Not knowing that Emma try means you will get me out of business because this is the only thing I know how to do. When you see somebody telling you Emma try, that means his knowledge, you know, he doesn't understand about it. That's why he keeps on saying Emma try. So I was stuck on manual engine, manual gear for a long time until I decided to try it. And then I decided that, well, the moment I tried it, I discovered that God was about saving me from arthritis. Because especially if you are in Lagos and you have to drive manual, for 3 hours in traffic, there is no way that you will live up to 40 years and then you don't have arthritis. But then the moment it became automatic, we thank God because that is actually what was made for Nigerian roads. So find out if there are new methods to that business. Can I go ahead? Number 13, inadequate use of technology. Can technology be relied upon to make the business easier and to make it better? Can your accounting business make use of the latest software? Latest software. The page, is it all those accounting business softwares? Can you begin to make use of software to make your business faster and easier? As an architect, can you leverage on technology for your drawings? Because gone are those days when you have to take around drawing board and T-square. So your business must move with the times or else it will be left behind. If you are not up to date, you will be outdated. Use technology to advance your business. Businesses should leverage on social media. How well do you use social media? There is somebody in our church in Lagos. She used to be a banker, but one day she just said, I'm fed up with being a banker because she was a contract staff for more than 5 years and all they were paying her was just 40,000 naira. And she said, look, and she went into the soup business. How many people on my page have read about the soup? She just went into making soup. That's all she does. And she has been able to use the social media very well to take her business a notch higher. People who don't even know her order for a dikain, order for ofeweri. Even my pastor here order for ofeweri. Pastor, I'm exposing you. For ofeweri and so many others. So as far as Lekki, and she stays in Ikorodu, and she supplies. She supplies all over. But she has been able to use social media to help her business. How well do you use social media? How well do you use technology? I tell people Facebook is not only for pictures. It's not just see a lot of people who just take selfie. That's not what Facebook is for. If you're not a photographer, you shouldn't be doing that. Except maybe you are spotless or somebody. But if you're not spotless, if you're not Sam, I mean, you don't have any business. And I wonder. And I see a lot of people and I laugh. Please don't block me from your Facebook page, please. Don't block me. Okay? So use social media to connect. Use social media to connect. Use social media to connect. I have a that I just wrote. The book came out March 16, 40 lessons that I learned along the way. And I've been able to use social media to push it. I've seen people that I don't even know them. They are not my friends on social media, but one way or the other, somebody tags me and I see them posting with my book. Social media has been able to take it all over. Somebody as far as Glasgow, Scotland, actually took a physical delivery of a physical copy just a few days ago. And I'm shocked. But all of them have just been reading it from social media. From social media alone, I've been able to sell about 500 copies. Social media alone. Social media alone. By the way, I'm advertising it. It's just 1,000. All right. Okay. So use social media to improve your business. Number 14, lack of integrity. And Mr. Sampson has spoken about this. In the words of President Eisenhower, the supreme quality for leadership is unquestionable integrity. Without it, no real success is possible, no matter whether it is on a section gang, a football field, in an army, or in an office. Without integrity, no real success is possible. Alan K. Simpson said, if you have integrity, nothing else matters. If you don't have integrity, nothing else matters. If you have integrity, nothing else matters. If you don't have integrity, nothing else matters. Now, integrity is defined as doing the right thing even when no one else is around. It is the ability to act with honesty. Somebody say honesty. And be consistent. Somebody say consistency. And be consistent in whatever it is that you are doing based on the particular moral, value, or belief compass that you have. You need to understand that the major currency of transaction is not money, but integrity. That's the major currency of transaction. It isn't money, it's not dollar, it's not naira, it's not euro, it's not pounds. It is integrity. Once you lack integrity, you lack everything. Now, when we're talking about integrity, you talk about product integrity. Does your product do exactly what you say it will do? The product you are selling. We talk about personal integrity, your own personal integrity. Are you trying to deceive some people? Are you trying to be dishonest? If I come to you and I obtain a service or a product from you, are you trying to swindle me? Personal integrity. Integrity in management practices. Integrity in management practices. Do you pay the correct tax you are supposed to pay, or you get somebody to bend the rules for you? Management practices. Sharp practices that a lot of people do, and then customer service integrity. Number 15, bad publicity or press. You need to avoid negative publicity as a business. Avoid negative publicity as a business. How many people saw a cartoon that was done by Chicken Republic about 3 months ago? That cartoon where a chicken, Olisametu, a chicken wanted to go and take and drop a chicken for Olisametu inside prison by Chicken Republic. And there was a revolt. And people said, no, businesses should not have anything to do with politics. And it was so bad that they now whipped up publicity, negative press against Chicken Republic. You know what they did? They just brought out news that 2 people went to eat at a Chicken Republic outlet and they had Ebola. Yeah, that was what the party did. The party lovers did. And they said they had Ebola. And they were circulating it and circulating it. And you know the way the tongue travels. Bad publicity, bad press travels very fast. To the extent that Chicken Republic had to come out with a public apology. Say they are really very sorry. That they are really very sorry. Avoid negative publicity as a business because it affected them. When they say 2 people died and they caught Ebola, how many people want to know that you can't catch Ebola from eating chicken? But they don't know that Ebola. Hey, don't go there. Don't go there. Lassa fever. Don't go there. Okay. Avoid negative publicity as a business. Now, the Lagos State government had to step in to encourage people to patronize First Consultant Hospital after the Ebola pandemic. Pashola had to personally go there to let people know that, look, I am here and I didn't catch it. But because everybody started avoiding that hospital because of negative publicity. That's what negative publicity does to your business. Bad publicity kills a business very fast. Now, how do you handle bad press? Something has happened. How do you handle bad press? Number 1, apologize sincerely if you have heard. Apologize. Take ownership. Take responsibility. Number 2, make restitution if possible. Make restitution if possible. Number 3, don't pick fights. Don't argue unnecessarily. There's no basis. Number 4, look at it as an opportunity. And number 5, consciously give a good performance. Consciously give a good performance. Number 16, not keeping financial records. Not keeping financial records. You need to keep your bank statements, you need to keep your invoices, you need to file your documents very well. These are some of the things that investors will look out for. Look, your business, everybody believes that your business will not be on the same level that it is in the next 2-3 years. You believe that your business is going to be bigger, it's going to be greater, it's going to be higher. Can I have an amen? Amen. That's what everybody believes. Okay, now what do you do? Because the truth of the matter is not everybody keeps financial records. And if you're going to have people pump investment into your business, these are some of the things they first of all ask for. How many people have heard of Iroko TV? All right? When they were going to have new investors, these are some of the things that new investors asked for. How many people have heard of hotels.ng, Marquesian? Okay, those are some of the things that those people ask for. If you're going to have people who will put equity, people who will put some venture capital into your business, they will ask for past financial records. They want to see what you have done. And if you have not been keeping those records, I'm sorry, it is a no-no. The same thing for Jovago, the same thing for some of those other businesses. Okay, so those are the things. Now, you need to look at the things that the investors are looking out for. Now, not keeping financial records can lead to payment of more taxes. It can lead to audit failures. It can lead to employee lawsuits. And you might not be able to protect your business from theft. Number 17. The 17th mistake that businesses make in Nigeria, we take revenue as profits. Revenue is not profit. Revenue is not profit. For emphasis, revenue is not profit. Revenue refers to the income that your business has earned from the sales of your goods and service, but that does not make it profit. Profit, simply defined, is the result of your revenue minus your expenses. So the fact that money is coming into your business does not make it profit. Back out your expense. Back out the salaries you pay. Back out the cost of your building. Back out the rent. Back out the taxation you pay. That is when you can actually come up with your actual profit. But a lot of people spend their revenue not knowing that they think they are spending from their profit, but they're actually spending from their revenue. Number 18, poor credit terms. In Nigeria, business is usually done on credit terms, especially if you have a big customer. That means you sell on credit. You give out things on credit. Now, they don't want to pay for services rendered or goods sold immediately. But you need to understand that nothing ruins a business faster than services rendered but fees not paid. So there are questions you should ask. I am not saying don't sell on credit, but there are certain questions you should ask if you want to take that decision. Number one, am I borrowing the money I'm using to provide this service or buy this product? Am I borrowing it? Somebody is coming asking me for credit terms. Now, the money I'm actually using to provide this service, to provide this product, am I actually borrowing them? If yes, ensure the repayment terms are synchronized with the payment from your creditor, which means that your creditor, the person who is buying on credit from you, pays you first before you are due to pay the bank. If he pays you after, you will be in default. You will be penalized with high interest rates and you may not be able to keep up. Number two, always ensure you commit your credit customer in writing. Don't do paddy business. Don't do business over handshake. Gone are those days in Nigeria where handshake is gentleman's agreement. No. Put it in writing. There must be a written document detailing the terms and conditions of the payment so you can enforce it in law. Number three, always give what you can absorb on your own should the customer renege on his promise. Make sure that whatever you have given out as credit facility are actually things you can absorb on your own should the customer renege on his promise. Number four, carry out informal checks on the credit customer. Informal checks. You know, banks have what they call credit bureau now, where we can go and check your reputation, your character, right? In the credit bureau, in fact, CBN has said we must check at least 2 to see whether a customer has been reported to the credit bureau for default on any facility. Once you have been reported, we cannot give you anything. You have to go and sort yourself out. Now, for your own business, where there is no credit bureau, what you need to do is to carry out informal checks. Ask about that person from some other people, one or two. If you know the church the person attends, ask for one or two people. How far with that sister in your church? If she borrows, does she pay back quickly? People will know. Efiniwa. Can I have an amen? Yes, character is like smoke. People will know. So carry out informal checks. If the person is very popular, that's why as bankers, I always encourage my people that once in a while, buy Ovation, buy city people. If you see him rolling out the drums every time at Owambe, then you have to be very careful because he may actually be using your money for Owambe. So you need to once in a while look at those magazines so that you can see the character or the reputation of the person who is taking things from you. Number 19, poor training of staff. Okay, I've spoken about training. Benefits of training your staff. They acquire new skills, they increase their contribution to the business, and they build their self-esteem. Now, the training they do can take them into other positions within the organization, positions with better prospects and better pay. Then they are also upskilled to do new and different tasks, which keeps them motivated and fresh. Now, because they are being trained on your time, they see that you value them enough to invest in them. So a good company is seen as one that retrains other than churns out staff. It helps you to stay ahead of competition and it increases job satisfaction levels. Number 20, poor customer retention strategy. Now, the average business loses about 20% to 80% of its customers annually. The average business will lose between 20% to 80% of its customers annually. So in a world where competition is growing by the day, customer retention has become very challenging. How do you retain your customers? Number one, don't lose interest in customers once a sale has been made. In 2001, thereabouts, when I bought my first car, I have a mechanic in this city of Ibadan called Akinloye. I've written about that Akinloye many times. Many people who are familiar with me on social media will know the name by now. And it was the very first mechanic that I used. He helps us. He would drive to National Bank those days. He would come there, take our car, service, bring back. You know, he was staying somewhere around Methodist here. I mean, that was where his garage was then. And I left Ibadan and went to Lagos. And one thing I discovered was that this guy never left me. Every Saturday, Akinloye will call me and say, Oga, family, how are you, sir? I mean, I wasn't giving cash to him again. I've not seen him in a long time. But this guy kept calling me. He never lost touch with me. I have never seen somebody who is unlettered and who has such great customer service skills in my life. Every week he would give me a call. Every week he would give me a call. And I assume that's how he was doing for everybody, not just me. So when I now got back to Ibadan, naturally, where do I go to? You would have thought that since he wasn't seeing me again for years, he had lost me. But I came back, and not only did I come back, I have put him on social media several times. People have brought him cars from as far as Ogbomoso, as far as Lagos, when they read it. Because I said anybody who gives Akinloye a car is a money back guarantee. And all of them have been calling. They'll just inbox me, please send me his number. And everybody has been saying very good things about him. But somebody told him, please, can you come and take this car from Lagos? And he went, he took the car, he repaired it, and they paid him very well. Don't lose interest in customers once a sale has been made. Number 2, bring back the lost sheep. Don't forget the parable of the lost sheep in the Bible. How Jesus left, or the shepherd left 99 and went looking for one. Is there somebody that you have been seeing before, you have not been seeing the person again? Pick up your phone today and call the person. I said, Madam, it's been Otojo Meta. We've not seen you for some time. What's happening to you? We would love you to come back again. Or is it that you are out of town? We have not been seeing you. Bring back the lost sheep. Number 3, frequent communication. That's why it is also good for you to have a database of your customers. Send them text. Send them New Year greetings. Send them festivity greetings. Send something to them. Be in communication and contact with them. Number 4, service integrity. Do what you have promised you will do. Number 5, extraordinary customer service. Wow your customers every time they come to you. Wow them. Wow them. Number 6, attend to complaints promptly. Don't sleep over any complaint that you have been given. 21. Number 21, high interest rates and high cost of funds. Some of the business mistakes we make. Now, businesses can't survive on loans at high interest rates. The higher the interest rate, the more difficult it is to make available your product and services at affordable prices. So you need to be careful even when you're going to take a loan. You need to sit down and crunch the numbers. Don't just say because you have a need, you can take anything that anybody throws at you. That's why you see some people will go and take owele. You know what they call owele? Where they will take money at 10% flat every month. And then they will be charging you. And then you are just struggling to pay the interest. You are not even able to pay the principal. How difficult it is for you to make repayments when the rates are higher and the cost of fund is higher. You need to be very careful. You need to be very careful. Number 22, too much loans. Just how much loan is healthy for a business? How much loan is healthy for a business? If a significant portion of your business funding comes from loans, then you need to watch it. Too much loans. Too much loans. When everything that is in your shop, 90% of it comes from a facility, there's a problem. Don't rush to take a facility because your account officer says so. Madam, we have a new product. This one, come and take. Let me rush and take that. Another person come. Let me rush and take that. Before you know what, you are rushing out of business. Okay? You need to know the exact portion of loan that is healthy for your business. Number 23, spending money on things you don't need. One other mistake we make. Like getting a big office when a small one will do. I have been following the Samsons for so many years. And I know how long it took them to have this office that you have here. It was not the year it started. Look, Rome is not built in a day or was not built in a day. And I know how many years. I know when we want to come and meet you. I know where we come to meet you in one of the filling stations. I know how many years. But you see a lot of people, the day that they are born is the day they want to start running. It doesn't happen that way. Like spending money on things you don't need. Getting a big office when a small one will do. Just a small one will do. And you want to impress people that you have some money with you. And then you go and you get a big office. Like overemploying staff when the workload could still be shared among existing staff. Like spending on flashy things. Why buy a Jeep when a small car will do? Why? Don't waste your capital on things that are not important to your business. Don't waste your capital on things that are not important to your business. When you can replow or add that capital back to your business, but what you want to do because you just got your first contract, the profit you make from that first contract, you go and you buy an SUV. No, you don't need it. No, you don't need it. Don't waste your capital on things that are not important to your business. 24. Lack of punctuality. You need to understand that punctuality is the soul of business. And I remember a song in one of the very first home videos that we used to watch in those days by the trio of Aderupoko, Jacob, and Papa Lolo. How many people remember those people? And they used to sing the song, punctuality is the soul of business. Kamuraza koko ishe. Kílẹ̀ ń ṣe kí ẹ máa ṣe ìṣọ̀lẹ nítorí ọjọ́ alẹ́. I think I'm the only old school person here. And I think there was an Akpala man that also sang the same song. Aruna Ishola, is my voice good enough? Punctuality is the soul of business. Kamurasa koko iṣẹ́. Kílẹ̀ ń ṣe kí ẹ máa ṣe ìṣọ̀lẹ nítorí ọjọ́ alẹ́. So punctuality is the soul of business. That's the truth, especially in the service sector. When a more punctual worker or business person shows up, the former is going to be discarded. That's the truth. That's the truth. Nigerian businesses don't keep to time. Some of them don't even have strict opening times. Some of them don't have strict opening times. They open 8 today, they open 9 tomorrow. They open 10 tomorrow. Now, let me give you an example. When I was looking for a shoe to buy this afternoon, this morning before I came here, the first place I went was the Dupe Mall, Heritage Mall, Abi. And then I saw a boutique where they were selling female shoes. So I went there, I said, please, I'm looking for men's shoes. Oh, they said, oh, right at our back, you see men's shoes. And I got there. The shop was opened. There was light inside. There was light inside, so it was opened. They now put a phone number at the entrance. I said, please call 080, they put the number. And I saw a shoe I wanted to buy. They displayed it. Very beautiful shoes. So I brought out my phone and I started calling the number. I called and called and called. Why do you have a number? Why do you display a number when you won't pick it? I called and called and called and called. Nobody picked. So I went back to the other shop. I said, please, these people, I know they have opened, but there's nobody there. I've been calling the number. He said, okay, go further in towards the Heritage Mall. You will see another shop. And I went there and I got the shoe I'm wearing. So somebody this morning has lost business, but he doesn't even know he has lost business because of punctuality. Okay? Some people, they only open when madam wants them to open. Are you that kind of madam? Loshi shop here. And then when it is even 4, whoa. Tea shop here, malole. Being punctual reveals your integrity. Being punctual shows that you are dependable. Being punctual shows you value the time of others. Number 25, poor choice of location. You must consider accessibility when choosing a location. This is one of the things that have killed Nigerian businesses and has not allowed a lot of businesses to live to their potentials. You must consider accessibility when choosing a location. Don't let cheap rent tempt you. Don't let cheap rent tempt you. Some businesses are not meant for some locations. Now, there are 6 things to consider when you want to choose a location for your business. Number 1, what's your style of operations? Do you need a kiosk? Do you need a big store? What's your style? Number 2, what are your demographics? The demographics you're looking for. Who are your customers? Who are your target market? What's their age? What's their sex? Do they match your customer profile? Will the workforce needed be available in that area? If people have to travel, your workers have to travel, your staff, from K2, and your business is located at Ikorodu, you can be sure that your workers most likely will be coming late. So are your staff going to be available, your workforce needed that you need, will they be available in that area where you are setting up your business? You need to consider it. Number 3, what's the foot traffic in that area? The foot traffic. Number 4, accessibility and parking space. Would you rather drive to a supermarket where you can park and shop, or where in 2 minutes you have gotten that security man has come to call you? Please, man, come and take your car. Somebody wants to go. Which one would you prefer? So accessibility and parking space. Number 5, you need to consider utility and other costs. Utility and other costs. Number 6, competition. Is there any competitor in that environment, in that locality? Those are the 6 things you need to consider when you're choosing your location. Number 6, poor business plan. Poor business plan. This is totally different from the strategy that I spoke about at the beginning of this session. A business that fails to plan plans to fail. Most businesses don't even have a business plan. I remember when we were setting up my wife's school, we decided to write a very comprehensive business plan that we still update regularly as the need arises. A business plan is not something you write and you throw it away. You also regularly update it. In the business plan, we need to look at what is going to be our unique selling point. What's going to be our unique selling point? You want to set up a preschool, a preparatory school. There are several preparatory schools in Magodo. What will be your unique selling point? We have to take days meditating, days thinking, days carrying out research, days carrying out feasibility studies before we struck on something. And we said, my unique selling point will be, one of the things I will offer is I'm going to offer sleepover services. Sleepovers. Which means that you are a professional, a doctor, you don't want to leave your child alone at home with your nanny, you can actually bring the child to our school for sleepover. And the place will be very convenient because we have a space for bed and everything. It is almost as if you are sleeping in a hotel and then you pay the price of a hotel. A lot of people were willing to do that. And we said that's not enough. We are also going to do what we call, if you're going for parties on Saturdays, and you don't want to drag your child along, you can actually come and just drop your child for 2 or 3 hours on Saturdays and just pay. And just pay. Or you are going to redemption camp, you are going to NASFAT, and you don't want to start looking for your child in that crowd. Come and drop your child from 7 p.m. and you come and pick him at 7 a.m. and then you pay. And then we say, wow, fantastic, unique selling point. And we brought that out. And you can be sure a lot of people rush the service. But you can be sure everything typical Nigerian. In 3 months, all other schools in the environment, we offer sleepovers. Okay, so a business plan is a roadmap that shows where you want to get to and how. And how. Where do you see your business in 5 years? it was so interesting when I heard Mr. Samson say he had somebody, where do you see yourself in 50 years? And the person said, when I don't even know tomorrow. But you need to understand, you see, that's one of the questions I also ask people who I interview every time. I never fail to ask this question when I interview people. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I remember I interviewed the lady, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I said, in my husband's house. I said, that's the only place you see yourself. I said, Kitwa no. I said, fantastic. At least she saw something. At least she saw. At least make sure you see something. At least she saw. At least make sure you see something. So where do you see your business in 5 years? Where do you see your business in 5 years? So you need to write a good business plan. Number 27. I'm rounding up now. Failing to change with the times. One of the mistakes that we make in Nigeria, failing to change with the times. Businesses must learn how to change with modern trends. Businesses must learn how to change with modern trends. Times are changing, and times are changing very fast. Very, very fast. The telephone we used to use in 1985, I remember in 1985, my father was the only one who had a telephone on our street in the world. So when people want to use the telephone, they come, we give them 7 p.m. to receive. So a lot of people will now come and sit in our sitting room. We used to feel like big people in those days. Come and sit in our sitting room. My mom will now be serving them coke and water. And then the phone will ring. I will be the one to go and pick it. Hello? And say, okay, Okumi, why is your phone from London? That one will come. And he'll pick his own and then go. But see how fast the time changed. And how every single person now has a mobile phone in their hands. And what you have in your hand is even more than a mobile phone. What you have is actually a business machine. It's actually a business machine. It can do so many things that a phone could never have done. I could see somebody demonstrating how we used to tap those phones. My father would think he has locked the phone with padlock. They used to lock it with actual padlock. But then I would pick the phone. I want to phone 7, 1, 2, 3, and I'll call. And when they bring the bills, my father say, about the bill to shake for toilet. I just do my eye like this. He has not known that I have learned how to change with the times. But he has not changed with the times. Okay? Now, you need to understand that barbers no longer use manual clipper again. How many people have used the manual clipper? We used to have one barber every Sunday. My father would bring him, and then he will come and cut our hair. He will bring his clothes, he will come to our house. And he has a large ceremony, as if what he wants to do is very special. And he will tie the clothes around your neck. He will put, not powder, he will put that small brush. He has soap that he would have made. Soap. He will put the thing inside that soap. Dab the thing on your head like this. Then he will bring razor. And he will be shaping this place with razor. Then he will now use the manual clipper to cut your hair. Now, the day I discovered the electronic clipper, when he came to our house, I said, because I thought that one was more convenient. I will never have any marks, because after that one, it will spray some chemicals at my back that my neck will hurt for days, because he has scraped some skin off the place when he was using the razor. So I said, no way. So I used to fight with him a lot at home. I would say, no way, go and get electronic clipper. But the man was only used to using manual clippers. Typewriters now have gone out of fashion. Even though I know that in some places in gates, they still sit there, and some local government and sit with it. Somebody brought a CV to me one day. I said, you type this with typewriter? How many people know? And stencil. You use it. So failing to change with the times. Number 28, underestimating competition. When you underestimate competition, don't underestimate competition. Study what they are doing. Study what they are doing. At times, you may need to even spy on them, especially on their prices. Spy on them. Don't live in a cocoon. Don't live in an isolated environment. Don't think you know it all. Study competition. Don't underestimate them. Somebody has just set up a school beside you. You need to be worried. Maybe there's something you're not doing that they're improving on. So go and find out what it is. Go and find out what it is. Don't underestimate competition. How many people know the history of banking in Nigeria? How in those days, the first big banks used to be what? First Bank, Union Bank, Afri Bank, and we always thought nobody could beat them. Don't forget that those were the days of armchair banking. The manager is a god. The manager even has a manager's quarters at the back of his office where he sleeps, where he takes a nap. And then they don't go out on market. They don't look for customers. Customers look for them. Those were the days of tally number. When you are going to the place, you remember the adverts where you have to carry mats. That advert, you carry mats and say, where my tally number? And those were the days. But because they underestimated competition, there was some young guys who just came and decided to set up some banks. I remember when they first came to Ibadan, the very first car that was used by the former Standard Trust Bank was a car we were pushing. It was a Tokumbo car. We were pushing it. That was the only car they could afford to give us. But we took the city of Ibadan by storm. We took the whole of Nigeria by storm. Who could have ever thought that the Standard Trust would buy over a UBA? Because when you underestimate competition, that's what happens to you. Now, when you are mentioning the big five, some names are gone. Some names are gone. You don't mention Union Bank again. Some names are gone. There's no African Bank. It has been swallowed. And that's how businesses will be swallowed if you underestimate competition. That person that has just set up shop beside you, don't underestimate the person. Don't underestimate the person. Am I communicating? Number 29, lack of focus. Businesses should focus on their core objectives. A bank should be a bank and not a real estate company. Focus on your core objectives. That's why some banks outsource their functions not related to their core objectives. Not their business. Outsource if you need to. Focus on your core objective. Focus on what you need to do. Focus on that your area. And you can outsource some other things. And finally, poor delegation. Poor delegation. A business owner must understand the art of delegation. You can't delegate everything, obviously. So you choose what task you want to delegate. But you can't do everything. You must delegate. Pick the best person to delegate to. And when you pick the person you delegate to, trust that person. You're about to say, Baba Fagofegun, Ashikini, Afokun Eleni. Trust the person. Give clear instructions. And then have a follow-up system. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.